Morning, children. We are studying the chapter Social Stratification. This chapter, Social Stratification, has been divided into some parts. We have already studied the first form of social stratification, that is class. Then second is caste. Third is race and ethnicity, means the division of society on the basis of race and ethnicity. And now we are going to discuss the fourth part of the chapter, that is gender, means stratification of society on the basis of gender. In this chapter, gender and sex, two terms have been used. So let us see the difference between sex and gender. We see that the term sex and gender are often used interchangeably and simultaneously to refer to almost similar facts or issues. These two are bearing different connotations. Sex. Sex differentiates male and female in biological terms, and gender differentiates in sociological terms. Gender refers to the personal traits and social positions that members of a society attach to being female or male. Gender is a dimension of social organization, shaping how we interact with others and how we think about ourselves. Gender also involves hierarchy, ranking men and women differently in terms of power, wealth, and other resources. This is why sociologists consider gender stratification. The unequal distribution of wealth, power, and privilege between men and women, means the distribution of wealth, power, and privilege is not equal between men and women. There is a difference. Men are having more power, more wealth, and more privilege. Then gender affects the opportunities and constraints. These are two words, opportunities and constraints, and each of us face throughout life. Means most of the opportunities are in the hands of male gender and the constraints are in the hands of females. Anthropologist Margaret Mead carried out groundbreaking research on gender, and she explained that there is difference among warring cultures. The concepts regarding masculine and feminine traits. This proves, according to her, that these concepts are developed by society and culture prevailing in a society. And if this could have any biological connotation, it should have been same everywhere. Sexual differences are counted on same grounds of physiological differences. George Murdoch, who also researched on gender, he found some global agreement about which tasks are feminine and which masculine. Means there are some tasks which are only for the feminine gender and some are only for masculine. Like hunting and warfare generally fall to men, while home-centered tasks such as cooking and child care tend to be women's work. Sex is a biological distinction that develops prior to birth. Gender is the meaning that society attaches to being female or male. Gender differences is a matter of power, as what is masculine typically has social priority over what is feminine. So we have seen that what is the difference between the terms sex and gender. Now let us discuss some of the gender issues. First gender issue is feticide. Female feticide is perhaps one of the worst form of violence against women, where a woman is denied her most basic right, that is right to life. Due to social pressure on the family of the girl children, for various reasons, the birth of a daughter is considered as a curse. The phenomenon of female feticide is not new in India, where female embryos or fetuses are selectively eliminated after prenatal sex determination. Then the second gender issue is dowry. You all know that dowry is very much prevailing, was very much prevailing in India, but is still in some parts of India and in some castes it is still prevailing. So dowry is an age-old practice of taking money or material from bride's family at the time of marriage. The implications of this practice caused a serious negative impact on the life and growth of women. The custom of dowry often leads to the neglect of the girl's education, the embarrassment of her parents, and even the suicide of the girl. So we can say that dowry is a curse for the society. Then another issue is domestic violence. The United Nations Declaration on the Elimination of Violence Against Women in 1993 defines violence against women as any act of gender-based violence that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, or psychological harm or suffering to women, including threats of such acts, coercion, or arbitrary deprivation of liberty, whether occurring in public or private life. Domestic violence is caused by a woman's intimate partner or a family member. The implicit forms of violence include repeated dishonor of the woman and abuse, enforced seclusion means isolation, restrictions on mobility, and disowning of economic assets are more tacit, means they are more common form of violence, which leaves women in a state of constant mental pressure and a sense of powerlessness. Then there are some other issues like rape. Rape and sexual assaults are the ugliest and most brutal expressions of masculine violence on women across caste, class, and religion. The fear of social exclusion, the unresponsiveness of the police, and the ruthless judicial procedures discourage the rape survivor to fight against the rape accused. Now, harsher punishment has been imposed on rape, resulting in death or vegetative state and gang rape. In both cases, punishment is 20 years and can be extended to life term. Other issues are acid attacks, sexual harassment, stalking. If a man watches or spies on women in a manner that results in a fear of violence or serious alarm or distress in the mind of such person, or interference with the mental peace of such person, commits the offense of stalking. So we have seen that all these are the gender issues, and the women are suffering from these issues, but government has taken some legal measures to protect women from the gender discrimination, like Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, Right to Life, Preconception and Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques, means Prohibition of Sex Selection Act 1994, Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, Hindu Succession Act or Inheritance Bill 1956, and New Anti-Rape Bill. So all these are the bills which have been taken by the government, initiated by the government, taken as the legal measures to save women from this type of discrimination. Now, there is a term, as we are discussing about gender, so there is a term gender bias. Let us see the meaning of gender bias. What is gender bias? Gender bias is a preference or prejudice towards one gender over the other. We can say one gender, that is male over the female. Bias can be conscious or unconscious and may manifest in many ways, both subtle and obvious. In many countries, eliminating gender bias is the basis of many laws, including those that govern workplaces, family courts, and even the voting booth. Gender bias can be hidden or overt and may result in small or large consequences. For instance, the biased assumption that girls' school sports are less important than boys' school sports leads to an inequality in funding and access to facilities. It is just an example. There are many such examples of gender bias. The legality of gender bias is an area of huge contention in regard to pay equity between the sexes. Historically, in many countries, men make more money over a career than women, even if they hold the same job. While the disparity has dwindled since the mid-20th century, it still exists in most areas of some degree. It is important to remember when considering gender bias and the law that not all regions approve or desire gender equality under the law. In some countries, women are not allowed to drive, let alone vote. Studies of some regions have also showed tremendous gender bias in laws, with women being subject to severe penalties, including execution for crimes such as adultery. Whereas for men, adultery may not be considered a crime at all or may have lighter sentencing guides. It shows that laws are also different for males and for females. Harsher punishments are for the females and less punishment or no punishment is for the males. So this is the meaning of gender bias. Now we see that with the spread of education, modernization, industrialization and new laws, it is diminishing. But still in some parts of the country, it is still prevailing. That's all. Have a good day.